A really easy and delicious recipe for leftover turkey and ham. That's if you have any, but it's a turkey, ham and leek pie. So I'm going to show you how to make up the filling. I'm going to heat my skillet pan. We're going to use a little bit of rapeseed oil and some butter. So what we need to do, because the turkey and ham is already cooked, and really important, like after the Christmas dinner, you might be very full, just literally cut the turkey and ham into nice big chunks and store it in a little airtight container. It'll keep happily there for a couple of days. So that's just oil and butter, a little bit of butter in there. We're going to put in some mushrooms, and I'm using the chestnut mushrooms. Just wipe them and then just literally slice them. So that's about 4 mushrooms there. So I'm going to actually add them into the pan with some leeks. So I'll just add in the leeks, and then I'm going to show you how I cut them and make sure the leeks are clean. So I'm using the green and the white of the leeks. So what you do is just literally cut them in half and then keep the flat side down and then chop them. Curve in your fingers, watch the fingers. We don't want any nicks, cuts or burns over the Christmas period. And we just need to soften this just for a couple of minutes because it's going to be baked off in the oven. And there's one mushroom. Now you can use lots of different vegetables. You can use peas. I've made this with some leftover roast chicken, but we wanted to focus on the turkey and ham. So I hope you got to watch my video for how to cook the perfect turkey. So this is the leftover turkey from Hogan's Farm. And I have a little bit of the ham too. So I've cut into nice big pieces, or you can shred it up. Don't worry about that. We just want to let this just cook for a minute or two. And then we're going to make a nice kind of a sauce with some pesto. So I'm using this lovely fresh basil pesto. We love this, even over some sourdough bread with a lovely serrano ham. It's so delicious. And as long as you have the serrano ham or Parma ham, keeping it Italian, at room temperature. That is the key into that. We're going to also deglaze it with some wine in a moment. So with the oil and the butter, the oil will stop the butter from burning. So you're going to get that lovely, lovely flavour. Now, so just give it a good stir. Then in goes the wine. So this is some Albarino wine. People often ask me, what's your tip in wine? Well, if it's not good enough to drink, it's not good enough to cook it. But it doesn't have to be expensive wine. So just give that just a little stir. Now, one herb that works really, really well is some lovely fresh thyme. So I'm going to pick off some lovely fresh thyme, just using the scissors. And this is going to go in here. So like if you thyme in a stuffing, if you're roasting chicken, it's so delicious, so it is. So pick off all these lovely little sprigs and those lovely little plants. It's very easy to grow thyme, but you can pick them up. So you can, and they're growing in Ireland, which is great. So just pick off the little bits of thyme. And then if you have any of the stalks like that, just keep that if you're making a little bit of stock, and that's pop it into the freezer. It keeps really, really well, so it does. And thyme is a beautiful herb. Really is gorgeous in this. So I have some thyme in this white wine, just reducing that now. And then what we're going to do, there's no flour in it actually, there's no thickening agent. I'm going to put in the mascarpone cheese now and some pesto. And that's it, the turkey and ham. It's as easy as that. Because you've done a lot of cooking over the Christmas period, you want this to be really, really simple, quick, easy and delicious. Most important. So that should be lots of lovely thyme there. So we can keep that. So give it a little stir and just let that reduce there for a moment. Okay, some nice mascarpone cheese. So this is it here, creamy Italian mascarpone cheese. This is the lovely product. So I'm going to put the full tub in, and then I'm going to put in a couple of spoonfuls of the pesto. So 1, 2, 3. And then just using, I find it easier with the spatula just to scoop in the full tub. And then just to loosen it up a little bit, we're going to put in some of this lovely, lovely fresh stock. I'm going to show you from Carol's stock market. So I'm just going to stir this through here first, and then we'll loosen this now. I need to season it up. Some lovely salt, a little bit of black pepper. You could actually have this done and then literally warm it up if you wanted to. Stir it through in your turkey and ham, which I need to talk to you about. Oh, I have already talked to you about. So we're just going to literally just pop this in here, and it'll cool down the sauce. So see the way this lovely creamy cheese, and of course the very famous dessert tiramisu is made using this cheese. So I just got that little tub just done, and the flaky puff pastry, I want to show you that too. It's a great pastry. Now stir this through here. So I think it's much lighter than maybe making a white sauce where you'd add flour and butter and then milk. So this is a very, very quick. So you can see how creamy that is. And you get that lovely colour from the pesto. I'll go with another bit. We actually love this pesto. Now, And then we're going to stir this through. I'm going to switch it off. And this is the fresh, free-range chicken stock from Carol's Stock Market. So she is working very closely with the Simply Better team, and we'll be launching her beautiful fresh stocks in the new year, which we can't wait. We're very excited about that. So just loosen that up. You can use a stock cube, it's fine. But remember, stock cubes can be full of salt. Like, there's no additives, no preservatives. She just has such beautiful, beautiful products. So we're very excited. So that's one of our new producers that we'll be working with, that we are working with, and that will be launching in the new year. So that's our mixture, if you can see that. Then we're going to add in the nice big chunks. You can see a little bit of leg meat. You can see the breast meat, and also then you have your ham there. And then just stir this through. So this is going to cool this down. Now, it's nice and saucy, and you know it's going to bake off in the oven. We're going to pour this into the dish, and I think the easiest way with this, for the dish like this, onto a tray. I'll show you now in a minute. I just want to have a little look in the oven. That's looking good. Oh, look at this. Okay, so now using your spoon or your spatula, and just because it does get hot, we're going to empty this all out here. Now, just kind of scoop it in nice and gently and fill it right up. So the reason why I have the tray is that if you have any spillages, it's not going to go into your oven. It's going to go onto the tray. That's just a wee tip. So some leeks, at about 2 kind of medium-sized leeks. They weren't that big. I used the green and the white of the leeks. And again, you can use peas, you can put broccoli into this. But I think this works really well. Now kind of spread that out. Lovely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let that kind of cool slightly. Okay, really you should let it kind of cool for maybe about 20 minutes or thereabouts. But we don't have that much time. I'll just talk to you very quickly about the pastry, and then I'm going to show you a lovely little kind of tomato salad. So the pastry is this flaky puff pastry. Just get this and done. So it's a lovely, lovely, really lovely pastry. And it just comes ready rolled. This is half it here because I've already made a pie, because it does need to go into the oven at 180 for about 25 minutes. So that's half the pastry there. So it's already rolled. So it's the flaky puff pastry. Trust me, that is excellent. Now, I'm just going to leave that over to the side for a moment. Some lovely cherry tomatoes. We are going to just jazz them up. So I've just cut them in half. We're going to put in some lovely sea salt. And then we're going to put on some rapeseed oil. And you can use a little bit of balsamic vinegar if you want to. I'm going to use a little bit of basil here. So just tear the basil there. So it's just lovely and fresh. You could use some cider vinegar if you wanted to. So this is just going to be a nice little kind of salad to go along with the pie, because the pastry, that's kind of your carbohydrate. Or you could serve it with some rice if you wanted to. So this is our salad here. And then we just literally arrange this. And then just at the table, you can add in some balsamic vinegar. Yum. That's our lovely tomatoes. Toasted pine nuts, nice bit of texture there. So toast them on a dry pan. They're lovely in stuffing, really, really good in salads, and I love them. You could use cashew nuts, but I think pine nuts are nicer. And then just a little bit of balsamic vinegar over that, and that's your little salad done. Now, let's go back over here. Just bring it over our pie. So this is my kind of like oven to table ware here. This is an oven, kind of like if you're making lasagna, shepherd's pie, that kind of thing. And then we're just going to literally just kind of press this in here. And because it's still warm, it'll just slide in there. Just kind of tuck that in there. Lovely. Then we're going to egg wash it and some sesame seeds, and then it goes into the oven. It's as easy as that. It's not a difficult pie by any means to make, but trust me, the flavour, when you have that really good, delicious Irish turkey and ham and that really quick sauce. 1 egg yolk, you're going to see why now in a moment. So separate the egg and then brush this all over here. So just go right to the edges, just using the pastry brush. So the egg yolk, you're going to get a much deeper, richer, actually I put a little bit of milk into that, glaze and colour onto the pastry. I'll show you now when it comes out of the oven. You'll understand. Yeah. And then you can decorate it, you know, with the knife very gently like that if you want to. I'm going to just put some sesame seeds and keeping it really simple. Plenty of those lovely sesame seeds that will give lovely crunch and texture and flavour. And then if you wanted to be very kind of arty, you could get a small spoon and you could just go like this, just to the sides. So just like this. Now, so the reason, just to recap, I put it onto the tray was so that if there's any spillages, I'm going to take one out now. I have this baked. This has been in the oven for about 25 minutes at 180. So I'll just do a little switch. Whoa! Look at that. The smell. Amel's licking her lips. Now, and this goes in. So from this to this, you're going to make sure that you cook your pastry. For me, that beautiful kind of buttery pastry, which is lovely and light and flaky, that creamy sauce flavoured with obviously turkey, ham, your mushrooms, your beautiful pesto. Again, you can experiment with different vegetables in that. Just serve that with a green salad. Put that at the table. Just be careful that is obviously hot, and let everyone help themselves. It's a really, really great way of using some leftover turkey and ham. But remember, you could do this any time of the year with some cooked ham, even a bacon loin, and also some roast chicken. But with the turkey and ham, it's so delicious. And with the salad, it's lovely and light, and you could serve it with some rice too. So I hope you try this recipe. This is definitely a favourite in our house. I want to wish you all a very, very happy Christmas and happy cooking.